So we're here with Dion Clark. This is Anwar Salandi of Anwar's Reflections. So Dion, after experiencing a heart attack and some other health problems, and taking some time away from your activism, how are you feeling overall?
Well, first of all, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you again for this opportunity. I'm feeling pretty good right now. They went in, they cleaned out two of my main arteries and removed the blood clot, so it makes a world of difference. And then I'm taking care of myself. I'm getting the proper rest and just taking one day at a time.
Okay. Okay. And through your tireless efforts, the quality of life of other individuals have been improved a great deal. What gave you the push or the drive to want to be an activist or to want to help improve the quality of life of others?
Well, first of all, I don't consider it as being an activist. I feel as being a concerned citizen,
Hmm.
someone who cares. It's my constitutional right. It's due process to look out for your community, your home, and your neighbor. Like I said before to you, and it's about being a good neighbor.
Hmm. Hmm.
And we have to get back to being a good neighbor and looking out for one another. That's something we've gotten away from. We don't even know our neighbors. The world that I grew up in, we knew one another. We got along with our neighbors. We communicated with our neighbors. We celebrated holidays, birthdays together with our neighbors. Sometimes your neighbors as close as your family because they're there right there in the community with you.
Right.
And that helped inspire me. And then the most important part of it was my upbringing. My parents was people who always stressed being clean and cleaning up, and taking pride in your environment. So that a lot of it came from my parents too.
Okay. Okay. And in light of being, a lifelong resident of Trenton, what do you think of the current state of activism or, concerned citizens in this community today?
Well, I don't think much of it because a lot of them are Johnny come latelys and
Mm.
they really haven't contributed anything.
Mm.
Not saying it because I've worked at it and fortunate enough got things done, but I think it's a process just like anything else in life. It takes time. And
Mm.
just get your name in the newspaper or some group recognize you with a plaque don't make you someone of that status or purpose. You have to work at that.
Mm.
Like I got the city to tear down many houses in the Wilbur section.
Right.
I got the city to rewrite the laws on landlords. I got Amtrak to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in their property to clean up. So I got a laundry list of accomplishments as a concerned citizen and taxpayers to get those in positions to do things to do them.
Right. Right. And and you see today's, citizens not having that same desire. They just want to be in the paper or be recognized with a plaque. Or would you mind?
Well, let the records speak for themselves. What have they accomplished? Tell me some of the things that these other activists in this city has done. I've heard some say, well, I did this, I might not get the ink or the write up in the newspaper, but I've done it. What have you done?
Mm. Would you mind, stating any names as the individuals that?
No, because they all know who they are. And the ones who profess to be activists, if you was to ask them, what have you done? It speaks for itself. It's not about what I say or think because I'm responsible for me.
Right.
I can back up my talk, but can they back up theirs?
Mm. Mm.
Not bragging or being arrogant or sarcastic, but when it comes to community work and community environment and involvement in the city of Trenton, I stand alone. And it's undisputable. Some people don't like me for it. Some people don't care about it, but I stand alone. I'm very proud of that. That I care too much about my community to stand up and fight for it. Lack of backing, lack of finances, lack of organization. I was still, as an individual, a concerned citizen to get things done because I stayed on top of things and I worked at it. It was a process, as I said earlier. It
Right.
took time, but I got it done.
Right.
And and I'm very proud of that.
Indeed, indeed, and I've recognized the research that you've been, recognized by, individuals like State Senator Shirley Turner and others, Rush Holt. So that's definitely to be applauded, and I myself wanted to recognize you for being, a community servant. We recognized you a few weeks ago, so we thank you for your service. Now, in light of the last question, in terms of leadership in the community or activism in the community now, you said that basically you don't really see a lot of leaders that are really about something or doing something, just want to get the ink and the recognition.
Well,
And
what are they doing?
right, right, and the follow up to that is to say, what do what direction do you see the city of Trenton going in the
It's
next
going to
5 or 10 years?
well, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Because first of all, we don't have the finance. It takes money to make the process work. We financial strapped. We don't have the income. We don't have the means of bringing in revenue into the city of Trenton to make it go forward. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the same old, same old. They all too busy concerned about Mayor Mack. Let the process deal with Mayor Mack. I told them all back then they didn't like that. Leave the mayor's salary alone.
Right.
You're going to get in trouble because if you do cut a salary, it's labor laws and other union business that it's going to cost the city much more than what they taken from Mayor Mack. So let the FBI, the court system deal with Mayor Mack. Because a lot of us are the ones who voted Mayor Mack into office. So let due process take care of Mayor Mack and leave it alone. And you see in the end, they all had to give it up. Yeah, well, there's too much other things going on, crime, blight, this and that. Well, I've been saying it all along.
Right, right, right. So you think the energy or the efforts put into trying to reduce Mayor Mack's salary could be put elsewhere?
Right, because that's what the newspaper want to hear. So this is my chance to get in the newspaper, so I'm going to keep beating that drum, beating it, beating it, beating it. But it didn't get me anywhere.
Right, right.